Yehovah, please fill me with the Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name, amen. We'll start with the Shema, listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts in mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. Genesis chapter 21. Yehovah remembered Sarah as he had said, and Yehovah did for Sarah what he promised. Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the very time God had said to him. Abraham called his son born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Yitzhak. Abraham circumcised his son Yitzhak when he was 8 days old, as God had ordered him to do. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Yitzhak, laughter, was born to him. Sarah said, God has given me a good son to laugh. Now everyone who hears it will laugh with me. And she said, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Nevertheless, I have borne him a son in his old age. The child grew and was weaned, and Abraham gave a great banquet on the day that Yitzhak was weaned. But Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, whom Hagar had borne to Abraham, making fun of Yitzhak. So Sarah said to Abraham, throw this slave girl out and her son. I will not have this slave girl's son as your heir along with my son Yitzhak. Abraham became very distressed over this matter of his son. But God said to Abraham, don't be distressed because of the boy and your slave girl. Listen to everything Sarah says to you, because it is your descendants through Yitzhak who will be counted. But I will also make a nation from the son of the slave girl, since he is descended from you. Abraham got up early in the morning, took bread and a skin of water, and gave it to Hagar, putting it on her shoulder and the child when he sent her away. After leaving, she wandered in the desert around Beersheba. When the water in the skin was gone, she left the child under a bush and went and sat down, looking the other way, about a bow shot's distance from him, because she said, I can't bear to watch my child die. So she sat there looking the other way, crying out and weeping. God heard the boy's voice. The angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, what's wrong with you, Hagar? Don't be afraid, because God has heard the voice of the boy in his present situation. Get up, lift the boy up, and hold him tightly in your hand, because I'm going to make him a great nation. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. So she went, filled the skin with the water, and gave the boy water to drink. God was with the boy, and he grew. He lived in the desert and became an archer. He lived in the Paran desert, and his mother chose a wife for him in the land of Egypt. At that time, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, spoke to Abraham. They said, God is with you in everything you do. Therefore swear to me here, by God, that you will never deal falsely with me or with my son or grandson, but according to the kindness with which I have treated you. You will treat me in the land in which you have lived as a foreigner. Abraham said, I swear it. Now Abraham had complained to Abimelech about a well which Abimelech's servants had seized. Abimelech answered, I don't know who has done this. You didn't tell me, and I only heard about it only today. Abraham took sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them made a covenant. Abraham put 7 female lambs from the flock by themselves. Abimelech asked Abraham, What is the meaning of these 7 female lambs you have put by themselves?" He answered, "You are to accept these 7 female lambs from me as a witness that I dug this well." This is why that place is called Beersheba, well of 7, well of an oath, because they both swore an oath there. When they made the covenant at Beersheba, Abimelech departed with Pekol, the commander of his army, and returned to the land of the Plishtim. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there he called on the name of Yehova, the everlasting God. Abraham lived for a long time as a foreigner in the land of the Plishtim. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading Genesis 21? We can learn some great history of what happened with Abraham's 2 sons. We can trust that Yehova remembers us and he acts on his promises. Know that Abraham and Sarah's boy was called Yitzhak, that he was circumcised on the 8th day. Trust that age is just a number to the Most High Elohim. Know that on the 8th day, the child was weaned at a banquet on that day, and there was division in the home. Trust that even through stressful times, Abraham listened and obeyed to the commands and orders of Yehova. Trust that Yehova hears our voice in our time of need and will open our eyes to what he has promised, so what he has provided for us. Aim to listen to the voice of Yehova when you are desperate and have no other options. Trust that Elohim was with Hagar and her boy Ishmael, that the promise he made him to make him a great nation. Know that they lived in the desert and the boy became an archer. Know that Hagar chose a wife for the boy from the land of Egypt. Trust that Yehova was with Abraham in everything he did. Know that Abraham made a covenant with Abimelech at the well of Beersheba. Know that Abraham then planted a tamarisk tree and then called on the name of Yehova, the everlasting Elohim. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can bring peace by listening and obeying to the commands of Yehova. Bear one another's burdens. We can encourage others to call out to Yehova in their time of need. Produce spiritual fruit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. How can we'll end with the Aaronic blessing. Yehova will kneel before you presenting gifts. He will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehova will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehova will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete.